All right. Okay, so welcome. I am the Trading Diva HFX Sniper. Welcome to the BYOB Cash Out HFX Simplified. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'm excited to be going over some things tonight and getting in the market to see what the market is doing tonight. And I am hoping everyone else is excited and had an amazing day today on this win-win-win Wednesday. I like that. So let's see who we have in the chat this evening. Let's see who we have. We have Chattanooga. Welcome, Minnesota. Welcome, Cleveland, Ohio, South Africa. Wow, BYOB Worldwide. That's right. Okay, let's see what else we have in here. Cleveland, Ohio, Thailand. Wow, London, Milwaukee. Congratulations, guys, on being on this call, because I don't know what time it is around the world, but I appreciate you being on this call tonight. So I just want to welcome everyone to the call once again, and everyone put in the affirmations in the chat, which is also a great thing as well. So today is Wednesday. We had an amazing week so far, and we're going to continue with that as well. So I'm not sure if you already made your $100 day, because that is something that we've been talking about all month. And if not, then you know what? You may have that chance tonight. Let's see what the market will be doing. We'll be able to look into that to see what's going on. But before we get into everything, first and foremost, we have to start with our affirmations. Yes, our affirmations. So our affirmations is, I am a master trader. I am the signal. I profit on all my trades. I am 777. And of course, you can always add your other affirmations. And what I like to add is, I am a BYOB, bold, confident educator, master trader, anointed for wealth. All my trades end in profit. See, I be trying to get all that in there, get it all in there all at once. But affirmations are great. And if you don't have any affirmations, I want to encourage you to get them, because they do help you in life, not just, for the BYOB movement, but for life. They do help you. So create some affirmations if you don't have any, and say your affirmations every day. Say them every single day, because you want to speak life to yourself, and you want to be able to have them affirmations come true. So don't be afraid to do that. All right, so let's move on. Let's see what we have here. So before we start in our master strategy, let's see who we have on the call tonight. So if you are brand new to the call and brand new to the movement, and also brand new trading HFX, put a 111 in the chat. And if you are not brand new and you still learning and you've been cashing out, but still want some things to go, but you feel like you still a master trader, then put in that 222 in the chat. And let's see who we have here on the line, just so everyone can be addressed and everyone can learn something tonight. All right, there we go. We got the 111 and the 222s, and someone put 111 and 222. It's okay. All right. So again, welcome to the BYOB Cash Out HFX Simplified. So tonight we are going to focus on HFX, because that's what this call is all about, high frequency trading. So let me get my screen ready so we can share and we can go over what's been going on in the market, what's been going on today. So let me share my screen. And if you guys can see my screen, please let me know. So I want to make sure that we all have a good visual and you're all able to see. Right now, what I have up is the vibrata. Are you able to see the vibrata? Thank you. Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. Okay. So first and foremost, we all will start off with the BYOB cash out strategy, right? Because without the strategy, you're not able to trade effectively. You're not able to cash out the way you should be cashing out. So we're going to do the BYOB cash out strategy, and we're going to do it on the 3-minute time frame, because when it comes to HFX, it's pretty much for scalpers, people who like to scalp. And what we do is we trade on the lower time frames, okay? So this is why we're going to start off at the 3-minute when it comes to the BYOB cash out strategy, and then we can go forward from there. All right, so let's see what's going on. I had a few pairs up here, just scoping, seeing what's going on in the market so far this evening, you know, because right now we're in the Tokyo session and the Sydney session as well. So you get a little bit alerts from both. So I've just been scanning the market, just seeing what's going on, and making sure that, you know, we can get something going on tonight. But it's amazing how everything pretty much follow each other when it comes to the patterns. And when you click on different charts to see what's going on. So first, let's start off with, like I said, the BYOB cash out strategy. When it comes to the BYOB cash out strategy, we have 3 indicators that we look at. Three indicators, okay? And the first indicator that we look at is the stochastic. The stochastic is down here, okay? This is one indicator that we look at, and you have the blue line and the red line. You have the blue line as the leading line, and you have the red as the lagging line. So every time you will see that, you will always see, you know, the blue, which is being the momentum, it is always ahead, and then the red pretty much catches up. But let's start here. All right, so let's start off with a buy, and I'm hoping everyone can see my screen, but let's start off with a buy, okay? So when you're looking for a buy, you want to look at the stochastic, the first indicator that we look at. And when it comes to the buy, you also want to look at it being the blue line crosses the red, which you can see here, and an upward momentum, but it has to be at or near the 20. So if you come over here, you will see this go from 0 to 100. And what we're asking you to do is to make sure that it's at or around the 20. And that's where we are here. Then we have the other 2 indicators that we also look at too, that's included in this BYOB cash out strategy. You have the green and the red candle, which is the Higinashi candle, which is also another indicator, okay? And then you have the PSAR, which are these dots. You see these dots. And the PSAR also called the parabolic stop and reversal. So those are the 3 indicators that we use. But when we're talking about a buy, what we do, like I mentioned, first, we look down here to see if it is the blue line crosses the red at or around the 20. Now we're going to look at the top, and now we're looking for a green candle. And let me see if I can just kind of zoom in here a little bit more. All right, there we go. Okay, and we're looking for a green candle, all right? And with that green candle, we want to have a flat bottom, which we do. It's a small candle, but it's a flat bottom. And the PSAR, which are these dots, you also want to make sure that it is also underneath at the bottom of the candle, all right? So you have the PSAR dots at the bottom along with the flat bottom, all right? So let me draw a line there so you guys can get a good visual on where that is. So when we do our time frame confluence, we'll be able to follow where we are. Okay. And I'm going to also change this color, of course, because we're talking about a buy. So let's go with a nice green. All right, something a little bright there. All right, so, and let me get an arrow. Just, for more visual, that's all, a little more visual. All right, so you guys can see the dots, and I'm gonna put the arrow on this side so you can see the dots and the flat bottom of the candle. And it is green, okay? A green candle, green for the buy. All right, so now let's talk about a sale, okay? When it comes to the sale, we want to look at the stochastic again, because this is where we look at first. And the stochastic has to be at or around the 80, which in this case it is at or around the 80 in a downward momentum, okay? A downward momentum. And then once we look at that, and it's in a downward momentum, the next thing we want to look at is the candle as well. And for the sale, it has to be a flat top of the candle, all right? The candle has to be flat at the top, and the PSAR has to be on top, all right? So for the sale, top, the PSAR, the flat candle at the top, and then we have, if you want to think of it this way, the top of the mountain with the stochastic and a downward momentum. All right. So we're going to put a line there as well. Again, this line is for visual aids, and this is for training purposes. When you are trading and learning how to trade, do not mark up your chart like this. This again is for training purposes only. And again, I'm gonna put an arrow here too. Good visuals. And this is a really big candle. Arrow. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there we go. All right. So as you can see, let's bring this down a little bit. So you can see the dots at the top, the PSAR, one indicator, the candle, two indicators, and the stochastic, the last indicator, all right? 3 indicators, but this is where you look at for a sale at the 80 or near in a downward momentum, the blue line crosses the red. You have the blue line cross the red and a downward momentum. You have a flat top in the PSAR. So technically we have a flat top here and the PSAR flip there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this line over right here. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do our time frame confluence. Okay. We're going to drop down and make sure that we're confluent across the way to continue. All right. So let's drop down to the 1 minute. Drop down. Let's drop down. And let's move on over and see if we are confluent on the 1 minute. All right. It's a whole lot of activity that's been going on this 1 minute. All right, let's keep on going and keep on going and make sure we don't pass it. All right. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me just do, oh, here it is. There we go. Okay, so for the green, for the buy, and boy, I tell you, this is like microscopic when it comes to these candles tonight. So let me just, boy, I tell you, Mike, you need some, there we go. There we go. Okay. So for the buy, it still has to be in an upward momentum on the buy, green candle, and the PSAR still has to be on the bottom. It still has to be confluent on the 1 minute, which it is in this case here. Everything still lines up for a buy. And for the sale, same thing. It still has to be selling at the 1 minute, and that's exactly what it's doing. It is still selling. We still have our red candle. We still have the downward momentum, which is down here on the stochastic, still in a downward momentum. And we have the PSAR too, which is still flipped as well on this sale. So we're still going good on the 1 minute. And let's go to the 15. The 15, let's see. Ooh, what is doing on the 15? All right, so here we go. We're gonna scrunch this up. Yep, that's what I said. I said we're gonna scrunch this up. There we go. Okay, let's see what's going on. What's, as we would say, cracking lacking on the 15-minute. All right, and let's see for the 15-minute. Now for the 15-minute, just like it is any other on a 1 hour, it has to look like it's something that you want to put on your watch list and come back, okay? It has to actually look like it. So for the sale, I'm sorry, for the buy, which we have in green, the candle is still green. And it's actually in a, well, actually, I would say, hold on, moved it over, but guess what? That's why we got that arrow. Look at that arrow. So on the 15, I would say that it is almost there, but not quite on the 15. We have, as a buy, it is at the top as it's going down into a sale. So that would be a no. That stochastic is pretty strong up there. That does not look like it is going up into a buy. And for the sale is confluent. I would definitely go with the sale. We have our red candle here, and it is in a downward momentum, and it already has flipped. So I would definitely agree with that to get into the trade. All righty, so with that being said, on the BYOB cash out strategy, let's continue to see what we have next. So we talked about a few things last week. And we talked about how to use the tools to get into the trade, how to use the tools, for the broker, and what we need to do when it comes to trading. So I want to show you a few things that we went over a little last week, but let me show you some other things. Well, before I go here, let's go back here. So things that you can use, alerts. We use alerts, and we can use support and resistance lines, okay? Now, I am going to show you how to use the support and resistance lines when it comes to getting in and out of the trade. But before I do that, I want to make sure that we know what tools that we'll be using before we go use our broker. And then once we find a pair that is looking really good, then I will go ahead and mark that up for you guys using support and resistance lines to show you how to get into the trade and be successful. So these alerts that we have here on the vibrata, we can definitely use these alerts when it comes to trading HFX. Just like we would do for the harmonic scanner, and you bring it back to the vibrata, we can do the same thing for HFX. We can use these alerts like right now. Let me take this down because we only need the 5 minute up here. Oh, wow, they only gave us this one, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, so when you are using the alerts, because we use lower time frames, the best one that we need to use would be the 5 minute. The higher time frames, we don't normally need to use those for HFX because we use smaller time frames. So we'll focus on our 5 minute, all right? So this one just gives us this one alert, right? But it's okay because this is not the only place. So when you go to your IM center, right? IM dot center, my apology. IM dot center, you can go right here to strategies, okay? And when you go to strategies, which is this page, well, let me just go here. When you go to strategies, scroll down, click on HFX, and then you have the Liberty, Freedom, Hourglass. You have all three of these, okay? So you can click on any one of them, okay? Whether you click on Liberty, and it'll pop up, and I'm just gonna go over this real briefly. They also have alerts as well. You have the alerts over here in this panel, and you're able to change the time frame on these alerts up here, okay? Also, you can also, I already have Hourglass up, but let's click on Freedom. You can go to Freedom and you can do the same thing. Freedom also have alerts as well. And you can come over here, you know, when it actually pop up, you know, there we go. Okay, so you can come over here and you can use these alerts as well, and you can bring everything back to the vibrato, and then you can go ahead and mark your charts up there and get into the trade. So I use Hourglass a lot, and the reason why I use Hourglass a lot is because when you go back to, and I'm gonna go back here, when you go here, it gives you a little bit of detail on this particular strategy as far as, you know, what is used for and how many alerts that comes up. And for me, and you too, it depends on how you trade and depends on, you know, your trading style, things of that nature. But this one had the most alerts. So I said, well, since this one had the most alerts, then, you know, I'll go ahead and I'll take the alerts from the Hourglass. But again, like I said, we have choices, you know what I'm saying? And this is one of the things I like about the Academy. You have choices. So you have the vibrato alerts, and you also have the alerts from the HFX as well. Another thing that we're going to go over soon too is the HFX has an app that you can download on your phone, and they give you alerts. And we're going to go over that sometime soon, but not today. So that's another option and opportunity that you can use too for alerts. But for here, we can use these alerts over here. And what I've noticed being in the evening time, you know, they have, you know, certain pairs always pop up more than others. So from right now, we have 2 minutes ago, you have the USD yen, you have the Euro USD and the Euro JPY, right? So what I'm going to do is, because we were working on Euro JPY, this was like 2 minutes ago. This is 132.754. Let's see. What I'm going to do is come over here, drop down to the 3, and let's see what is actually going on with that particular alert that just popped up. And it came up as a sale, and it was at 1 3. I don't know why I thought I can remember that. You know, I don't know why I thought I could. 132.754. 132.754. 132.754. 132.754. Okay, so let's see what's going on this one. And that one was red. And this is for me, and maybe if you can remember too, but I like to color code the line from what it said is going to do. If it's going to be a buy or it's going to be a sell, I like to color it that, whether a red or green, just so I won't forget. Just so I won't forget when I mark the line, and I'll be like, oh, was that a buy or was that a sale? Let me go back and see which one that was. So this is one of the things that I like to do is once it's being called, I like to put the line as red or green as a reminder for me. All right, so this is where it called for a sale. And as you can see, it's been hitting this line quite often. And it is in a buy, which is something that we are not, you know, we are already aware of. But it always called, it's in a buy right now. But as you can see, when it comes to the strategy, the BYOB strategy, it haven't flipped yet. Well, there it is. It just flipped. Okay, so this is one. I'm going to mark this one up, but I'm also going to come back to it too. So I'm going to mark it up right now. And what I mean by mark it up, I'm going to use the support and resistance lines. And as we talked about before, and let me change these colors. We talked about support and resistance lines before on how to use them, how to create them. So I am going to draw, I like to draw like 2 up and I like to draw like 2 down, depending on which way it's going to go. So let's see, this is a good one here. And I'm going to put another one right there. And again, remember when it comes to support and resistance lines, when you are marking your chart up, you want to make sure that the candles hit the support and resistance lines a minimum of 3 times, okay? Let it hit the support and resistance line at least 3 good times. And as you can see, these lines that I just put on here, it hit quite a bit, right? It hit quite a bit. So, and I'm on the 3 minute. And again, lower time frame. So what I'm going to do, because I feel like this is going to move really fast, I'm going to put another support and resistance line down here. All right. And I'm going to put one more. And then, because what's going to happen is you're going to see it move. And sometimes we may have to take some out depending on how the candles move, but they begin to bounce in between each other. So this one right now is on the 3 minute, it just flipped. It's in the blue line crosses the red right here. And it's in an upward momentum. So it looked like as it's in a buy right here. So let's drop down to the 1 minute. And as you can see, the 1 minute is already oversold on the 1. But as you look at support and resistance lines here, it caught it right here for a sale, okay? So as you look right here, it's barely touching the support and resistance line. So it may not go past this one on the 1 minute. And at the 3 minute, it looked like this candle is going to stop right here as well. So let's take a look at the 15. Oh, I forgot, didn't take my lines off. Let me take these off. All right, and at the 15, it is definitely in a sale on the 15 minute. Right here, this whole candle looked like it just don't know which way it want to go on this candle. This is definitely not confluent at all. You have it in the downward momentum here, and you have the P star down at the bottom, and you have this candle here trying to make a decision on which way it wants to go. But the good thing about this is, and let me go back to the 3 minute. All right, and let me just come in and put a little bit more on here. Okay, so as of right now, this is an upward momentum, but it stopped right here at this support and resistance line. All right, so now we're going to see if it's going to surpass this line. But as you look left, there's been, it stopped on this line quite a few times, as you can see. Right up in here, it stopped. It barely went past this line until we got right here. So we'll see what's going to happen on the next candle. Let me make sure I put my timer here. All right, so what I'm going to do while we are looking at this, I'm going to, let me close this one out. This one wasn't on there. They had Euro, USD on that side. And let me go back here to make sure Euro, USD, okay. And it had CAD, all right, so. All right, so the Euro USD, let's kind of look at that. I want to see if we can at least have 2 and watch 2 of them at the same time. But this one, they kind of basically almost look the same. Oh, wow, look at that, flat line. We talked about that earlier this morning, flat line, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this one because I wanna point out some other things. Now, why, let me go back to the 1 minute. Now, when it comes to HFX, the 1 minute is very, very important because again, the 1 minute candles drive into the 3 minute candle. And that's what I want to talk about for a few minutes before I go to the broker. So let me tell you, let me explain a few things to you a little bit more in depth on when I am trading this on what I look for, okay? So, so you still, yes, you still would need time frame confluence no matter what you're trading. But let me just throw this in here too, when it comes to what I do when it comes to looking at the BYOB cash out strategy, making sure everything line up before I get into the trade. And then another tidbit that I look for when I get into a trade too. So one of the things that I do is like I've mentioned before, I said I look at the 1 minute and I trade on the 3 minute. Now that's me, okay? Now you may trade on the 1 minute or you may trade on the 5 minute, whatever your sweet spot is, okay? Remember, whatever your sweet spot is, that's what you're comfortable with trading, then that you do what's comfortable for you, right? So for me, 3 minutes is comfortable for me. That's my sweet spot. And what I like to do, once everything is lined up with the BYOB strategy, what I do next is I look at the candle on the 1 minute and I see if I have 3 good 1 minute candles, right? Because remember, each candle on a 1 minute time frame is 1 minute, okay? And on a 3 minute time frame, each candle is 3 minutes. So if I'm on the 1 minute time frame and I'm looking at that because it's a lot of activity, what I do, and maybe you guys may do something different when you're trading, but the tips that I use and what I do is I look at the candle. I look until I get 3 good candles. So in this case, let's talk about a sale since it looked like it want to go down into a sale right now, right? So what I like to do is I will look and see, I got 1 good candle here. I have this next candle, not quite sure what it's going to do, but let's just go back here. Let's just say I have 3 good solid candles, right? Those 3 good solid candles will be 1 3 minute candle. So what I also do is once it's look good, once everything is looking good on the 1 minute, I jump to the 3 to see what's going on the 3 minute. And when the 3 minute candle is almost getting ready to form, then I go over here to the demo. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it down here. Because when you're trading HFX, because it's so fast, it's good to have the chart up and be right next to the broker, okay? Be back and forth so you can do just like this because it moves so fast and you want to make sure that you can get into the trade, you know, fast enough and be able to analyze it as well. So the one thing that we talked about before was your pip reaction time. So yes, for HFX, you have to work on your pip reaction time because everything moves really, really fast. But again, if you 3 minute might be too fast for you and the 1 minute may be too fast for you, then I would say practice with the 5 minute, okay? Practice with the 5 minute. Everything that I'm saying now is still good for the 5 minute as well. So as we can see, this was our call price. Remember, for a sale, it hit that. And let's go to this demo account. And we are in Euro JPY, which is right here. All right. Okay, so, and it is definitely selling on the Euro JPY. But I wanted to point that out, and I'm going to just go over this one more time. So when you get ready to trade, whether you do the one minute is a bit different. And the reason why I do 3 minute is because I want to look left, right? I want to be able to look back at something that's why I trade with the 3, because I can look back at the 1 minute and see what is doing on the 1 minute for me to get into the trade for the 3 minute candle, okay? And if you trade with the 5 minute, if you say, hey, 5-minute candle was my thing, at least you have the 3 and the 1 to look back. Look, like we always say, look left, right? So I'm going to go over it one more time, all right? Just in case you missed it. Again, find your sweet spot when it comes to trading HFX, okay? My sweet spot is the 3 minute. And the reason why I do the 3 minute is because I like to look at the 1 minute candles, because each 1 minute candle, all I need is 3 good ones. And when I get 3 good ones and the strategy is lined up, then I can get into this trade, okay? So as you see right here, and this is something that you do have to pay attention. I'm going to tell you right now, when you trade HFX, the BYOB cash out HFX simplified, when you are trading it, you have to make this you have to put all your attention into this. Because think about it, we're doing 1 minute, 3 minutes, right? So when we're doing a 1 minute and 3 minute, or even a 5 minute time frame, and you turn your head, you look at something else, you click on something else, you know how we get somebody, call you, text you on your phone, then you look back up, you didn't already miss your trade because you was distracted. So make sure you are focused on what you're doing here. So here's a few things I want to point out is these 3 right here. Oh, look at this. This is 3 good ones that we have right here. Okay. And as you can see, it's hitting these support and resistance lines. And that's why we draw the support and resistance lines, because it's going to hit. And once we go here, it's been dropping, as you can see. The last 2 candles, 3 minute candles. And then we have, look at these. This is the 1 minute. I'm going to go jump to the 3 minute. We got 2 good solid 3 minute candles here. All right. But some things I want to point out. It hit the call price. It called for a sale and it hit that call price right here. So, if you were in this trade, you would have profited on that trade. That's 1. Number 2, we talked about support and resistance lines, right? So before, it was over here in the buy, right? And I said, these 2 candles, it hit this line. And if you look left, it did not go that far. So what did it do? It transitioned and it went back down to a sale, and it hit the call price and it hit the other support and resistance line, right? It has the potential to come down here. And as you can see, as we look left on the 3 minute, it did not go that far. So I hope everyone got that. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. So let me pull this back over here. All right. Now that we get all that out the way, okay, I hope everybody understood, let me put that over here, what I was talking about, how the support and resistance lines play a part. That's number 1, why it's good for us to learn how to draw them, because they're going to hit these lines. And let's go back to the 1 minute. All right, so now it's hanging over here on the 1 minute. It went all the way down. So again, yes, I know I was talking and I don't know if somebody jumped in the trade or not, but I just want to make sure everybody understand what I'm saying, when to get into the trade. I know we're scalpers and we think like a scalper and we like, oh my God, I could have gotten to this. You are right. You probably could have gotten to this, but I want to make sure I explain everything first, okay? So now that we talked about that over here, let me talk about some things on the broker, okay? Don't forget, and it happens, okay? So I don't want it to happen to you. So let's talk about a few things on the broker side. to take a trade now that it hit the support and resistance lines. Okay, what I'm saying is when every time it hit the support and resistance line, it's going to actually, as you can see right here, as it hit the support and resistance line, what I want you to do before you get into that trade, see what's going to happen. So on the 1 minute, as you see, it barely, and let me kind of, on the 1 minute, it kind of, when you have small candles that all line up around the same time, I'd say, you know, kind of like together like this, the odds of that happening, when you see this, that is letting you know that it's getting ready to do something different. And that's what this is right here, because it all stopped at this line right here. Now, this candle went past this line. This one went a little past the line, but the wick and the end of the candle all ended up at the same place. And if let's grab this one here and put that there. And I'm gonna make that yellow. Let's make that a different color. Okay, you see that? That was the, once you see a candle, this big candle, that was great, that it went past our support and resistance line. But then that next candle, it went past, but it stopped almost at the last candle. And then the next candle pretty much did the same thing. So when you have 3 candles, or, you know, since we're on a 1 minute, I'm gonna talk about when you have candles that stop right here and they don't surpass each other, that's an indication letting you know that it's getting ready to turn around. And that's exactly what it did. And it did that because it hit the support and resistance line. Just like classic trading, regular trading, when it hit a support and resistance line, remember, it may stop and go into a correction, just like it's been doing over here. Same rules, same rules. The only difference is we're doing a different time, 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, the same rule apply. So now on the 1 minute, you see that it is turning. It is trying to, now it is turning this trend on the 1. So now let's see if it's confluent. Let's go on the 3. Look what it's doing on the 3. On a 3, where we start our trade from, it's still up. The P-STAR has not flipped for a buy like it did on the 1 minute. The candle is right here thinking about what it want to do. And if you look at the stochastic, we have this little here, which I don't like. It looked like it want to go up, but it's not sure. So at this point, I will not get into the trade. I will wait to see what's going to happen next, because this could be another small correction before it go into a sale again. And I say that because it's not confluent. But as a scalper, I know how we think. You may try to scalp these 3 here, these candles here, to get in and get out. And if you look at the broker right now, this is what's going on at the broker. So I hope that answered your question. All right, so this is where you can change the time frame, okay? So when you get into the trade, make sure you have the, oh, look at there, it did that. Okay, make sure you change the time, because a lot of times, because we move fast and it looked like, oh my God, I need to get into this trade. I want to jump in and get into the trade. I don't want to miss it. Then you'll forget to turn this, because every time you get out and you get in, this will change, okay? So be mindful of that. Let's see, did I answer every one question? I hope I did. All right, just checking the chat for questions. I'm hoping I am clear that you guys understand what is going on and what I'm doing here, but I just want to make sure that you guys know what to look at before you jump into the trade, okay? So let's talk a little bit more about what we see here before we can get into the next trade. Yes, it's the fixed time on the broker. So where it says expiration time, when you click here, you have a fixed time of 1 minute. But if 1 minute isn't your sweet spot, and maybe, I don't know, 3 minutes or 5 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever your sweet spot is, you can change the time frame up here. All right. Whatever your sweet spot may be, you can change it here. Now, for me, my sweet spot is the 3-minute candle. This is why I trade on the 3-minute. It's on the 3-minute candle, my sweet spot. And then I go to the 1 minute time frame. I like to be in the trade for 1 minute. That's my sweet spot. Your sweet spot might be 3 minutes, or it could be 5 minutes. You know, just demo in your demo account to find out where your sweet spot is. But that's my sweet spot. So that's one thing that I want you guys to, you know, play around, see what your sweet spot is. So remember I said, let me go into something else that I want to show you guys this too. So remember I said, hey, when it comes to trading, the 1 minute candle, right? I said it's 3, when you get 3 good 1 minute candles, then go to over here. And then when you wait for that next candle, you'll get a good 3-minute candle. And what I mean by that is you automatically, well, I ain't gonna say automatically, I'm not gonna put any guarantees, but you will have a greater chance, is what I'm going to say, on profiting on that particular trade. But here is something else that I do too, okay? And again, practice with this. This is what I do too. Once everything is lined up, right? Once the BYOB cash out strategy is lined up, once I have 3 good solid candles, what I do, I go back to the broker, right? But what I normally do is, and this is not, at the time is almost up here, but what I normally do is I get into the candle, because the candle on the broker and the candle on the vibrata, they are not lined up the same. What I mean by not lined up the same, one is faster than the other. So it gives you a little bit more time to analyze the chart before you get into that trade, which is a great thing because it saved me a lot of times before I jumped into the trade. So I'm going to show you with this particular candle what I do. So this has 2 minutes and 30 something seconds. So what I normally do, one, check the time. We have 1 minute, okay? What I normally do is I get in the last 30 seconds of the candle. The last 30 seconds. So for example, this is 2 minutes and some seconds. So what I normally do is, once everything is lining up for me, I get in the last 30 seconds of the candle, and I'll be in the first 30 seconds of the next candle, okay? And the reason why I do that, and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys tonight on why I do that, but the reason why I do that is because it the next candle always come bursting with a lot of volume. And I'm hoping that I can show you guys that in the next few minutes. I do know that the candles are not lined up. So I do know everything isn't lined up, but for training purposes, I want to show you what's next. Once everything lined up with the BYOB cash out strategy, once you have, again, this is my sweet spot, okay? My sweet spot is 3 minutes. So once you have the 3 full candles, you come over here. And matter of fact, while I'm here, I can show you guys what I mean by it don't line up, what gives you a little bit more time. Where's my clock? There it is. Okay, so right now, this is a 1 minute. It has 40 something seconds, right? And let's just say we have 3 good candles. When you come back here, this has 36 seconds, 35 seconds. So I'm gonna jump in right now as a buy, okay? And again, this is for training purposes only. And hopefully this will go the way I want it to go so you can see what I mean by the next candle. And again, for everybody, if this is your first time seeing this, you see I have a line right here. The goal is to have the candle surpass my line so I can stay in profit. Okay, now, of course, this is in my way. This is in my way. Okay. Not sure if you can see what I see, but here is my line right there. And normally, if everything lines up the way we did it, this candle normally surpasses. I was in there twice. Did I click on that trade twice? Oh, no, I didn't. I did win on that trade, but normally when you get in, the next candle, it go bursting past where you got in at, which pretty much confirm your analysis and you will profit on that trade. It was a little hard to see that, and I couldn't make this bigger and the line didn't move. So I'm just going to say practice it, okay? Practice, practice, practice. Get in your demo account and practice what everything that we went over tonight, so you can see what I'm talking about. But again, find your sweet spot, okay? Whether it's 3 minute, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minute, play around, find your sweet spot. Also, this will help with your pip reaction time. Whenever you find a pair you want to trade with, make sure you have the demo account next to each other. Another thing I want to point out here, this is where you can find your pairs, okay? Since we have like a few more minutes here, this is where you can find your pairs. And the percentage is your take profit, these percentages here. So if you have a trade amount at $20, $100, $50, whatever you put over here, and right now we're on Euro JPY, so we have 56% profit. That's where we at. That's what we're going for on that particular trade. So I know that was a lot, ladies and gentlemen. It was a lot, but I wanted to show you guys. Look at this now. Now look at it on the, that's on the 1. Let's look at it at a 3. It still did not flip on the 3. This piece I have not flipped on the 3. But, and then look at it on the 1. It's trying to get somewhere, but it haven't flipped on the 1. And this is why when you come to the broker, you know, it looked promising, but when you have everything in confluent, it balances out a lot better than you just jumping in there. But I know as scalpers, you know, that's how we are. We like to jump in there and jump out. So anyhow, I believe that is it. I don't see any more comments in the chat. So I just want to say tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., you have the profit call with our trade whisperer, Miss Dyer. She will be on the charts, helping us find what's going on in the market, marking up the charts, and also educating us as well, because that's what she does. So if there is no more questions, don't forget the 5 o'clock in the morning call. I also believe the call tomorrow is at 9:15 for the indices as well. And that will be it for me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That would be it for me tonight. Have a great night. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to contact me. And Ms. Dyer, do you have anything that you want to say before I close out?
Let me jump in here real quick, Ms. Brandon.
Okay.
The trading diva, sniper extraordinaire. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are excited about the fact that you are able to understand the fact that you can be in and out of the market in a matter of minutes, and for those of you who seemingly believe that your time schedule does not permit you from taking advantage of this, this is the remedy to every dilemma that you could possibly imagine in your mind. So what I'm excited about is knowing that by the grace of God, we have a strategy that literally contends with every aspect of the market, no matter what your preferred asset is. So we believe and we know that this dots every I and cross every T. So if you're excited about what you've experienced tonight from the trading diva herself, the HFX sniper, I need you to drop an 888 in the chat. Let's celebrate what she's been able to do for us, for your family. And this really is our heartbeat. It is our purpose. It is our desire to operate in excellence, and just to know that we have individuals who, because they care about people, take time out of their schedule to ensure that you gain this information and that you're able to execute at the highest level, be your own bank. So once again, personally, Ms. Brantley, I wanted you to hear this in the midst of everyone around the globe, that we're tremendously grateful, appreciative, and thankful for your heart to serve and share your insight with many people, and how many more families will be blessed because of you saying yes. So to you, Ms. Dyer.
Awesome call this evening. Awesome call this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what your trading style is. We have the training, everything here for you with Be Your Own Bank. And so tonight you were empowered. Tonight you were giving tools and resources. She walked you through exactly everything that you need to do to be successful. And I can guarantee you that you now are empowered. And I'm just going to tell you, like we always do, push the button. Just push the button. Just push the button. Get into that demo account, open it up, go back and watch these trainings on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed and push the button. You can get your $100 days here too. We have many assets, many trainers, many educators that are here to empower you. Push the button, $100 days. Today, you should have definitely walked in that. And tonight, you're now empowered to do it again on another tool with another asset. And hey, this is my snipers, HFX simplified, right? This is what we're doing. So be your own bank. I love each and every last one of you all. And guess what? She already told you. We'll see you at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same line, same channel. God bless, and I'll see you then.